but they go out and trade a future first-round pick for James Pierce in the draft. That's just a lot of draft capital.
If I was the GM, absolutely not.
I would have gotten something that would have helped me right now. I understand long-term, but man, $180 million for a stopgap.
I wouldn't have done it, Laura, at 24 on my board. That protects you from overdrafting. I get what Terry Fontenot said.
Which isn't to say I disagree with everything they did. I mean, I like some of the players they added.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Atlanta Falcons in today's video. We're mainly going to talk about the offense and then your defensive rookies, because I'm huge on Michael Penix, and I think he might be the best quarterback from last year's class, and it was a loaded class. And Jaden Daniels just had a historic rookie season. Caleb Williams just had a really good year. Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy is getting some traction here. I think he's going to have a good season as well. My comment has nothing to do with the other quarterbacks' talent. It's just, I think Michael Penix Jr. really is that good. And it's tough for Falcons fans to really get excited because his sample size last season was very small. He only had 114 dropbacks and he earned an 87.9 overall PFF grade while doing it. But that was heavily inflated because in week 18 against the historically bad Carolina Panthers defense, he had 7 big-time throws and a 95.6 game grade. Now, the good news is, no matter what you think of Carolina's defense last season, and it wasn't good, by the way, he was going to do that no matter what. Like Michael Penix's arm is unbelievable. And so when you look at these quarterbacks and you're evaluating quarterbacks, what a lot of scouts look for and what a lot of these coaches are looking for, OCs, et cetera, they're looking for specific skill sets, right? And Penix's biggest skill set is his cannon of an arm. And what you noticed in some of these games, because he did struggle in the game right before it. I know he didn't have the best game against the New York Giants. It's going to drive me absolutely crazy that I cannot remember who the Falcons played in week 17. But Michael Penix struggled with accuracy, and he finished with a 54.3 passing grade in that game, in the week 17 game. And it's literally going to drive me absolutely insane because I just researched this all morning. But my point is, when Michael Penix cleans up the small stuff, and I'm talking like short yardage, we're talking like screens, slants, that kind of stuff, it's going to be game over. And what they're working on, what Robinson, your OC, is working on with Penix right now, and having a full OTA, having a full summer being QB1, they're working on anticipation. If Michael Penix can get the yards after catch and throw with anticipation to wide open receivers in short yardage situations, the sky truly is the limit, because he's got the cannon to keep defenses honest. Like, he has literally a freaking cannon. And one of the good news for Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons offense is last year, once again, an amazing offensive line. And I know you did lose Drew Dahlman to the Chicago Bears in free agency, but the other 4 starters are returning, and they all graded above a 70 in PFF in 2024. You have a phenomenal right guard in Chris Lindstrom. He was the best guard in football statistically last season. So you got a great left tackle. I don't have, or actually it would be a right tackle for Penix. Totally even forgot about that. Wow. Did not even think about that. Your right tackle's Caleb McGarry. But anyways, I don't have concerns about the offensive line. I know they did lose Drew Dahlman, but we'll deal with that once the season gets closer to the time. The biggest weakness for Atlanta last year was the defense, and it was the pass rush. And when Atlanta had their draft, I was honestly blown away. I don't even think I did an Atlanta Falcons draft video for whatever reason. I do apologize. James Pierce, Jalen Walker with your first pick, a couple of safeties doubling down. I mean, it is clear that you feel comfortable with your offense. You feel comfortable with your offensive line. You feel good with Darnell Mooney, Drake London, rightfully so, Ray McLeod. You got a great running back room in Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. And I don't know how Falcons fans feel, but like every other NFL fan, I'm excited about Kyle Pitts. I really am. And I think Michael Penix is a much better quarterback than the last couple of guys you've been cycling around, whether it was Ritter, Captain Kirk Cousins. I think a Kyle Pitts, Michael Penix connection will be a big difference maker next season. But the pass rush was, ultimately, in my opinion, why you guys missed the playoffs, right? You tied for the second worst pass rush grade in the NFL, ranked among the league's worst 3 teams in pressure rate and pass rush win rate. They did not have much money to spend in free agency, so you saw a pretty quiet year because of Kirk Cousins from last season, but then the draft made up for it. The draft 100,000% made up for it. And, with a team like Atlanta, the last couple of years, just the pressing question's been pressure getting to the quarterback. And so I'm really excited about James Pierce. I think he's going to be a huge rookie to watch. He had 107 pressures and 21 sacks in his 2 years at Tennessee. He also played at Tennessee, which is an SEC team, but we're going to get to him in just a second because I do want to comment on Jalen Walker, who fell all the way to 15. And this was, projected, anticipated top 10 pick. He's got the versatility that your defensive coordinator is looking for. He even played 50 snaps at slot cornerback for Georgia last year. He had 6.5 sacks. He had over 60 combined tackles. And he was also one of only 8 players across college football to have 300 snaps at outside linebacker, 200 snaps at inside linebacker, and 50 snaps at slot corner. So the dude is versatile. He's a tackle machine. He's aggressive, and he's physical. He's exactly what I'm looking for at linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons. But my favorite pick probably in the entire end of the first round is James Pierce Jr. because there were a lot of mocks where he was a top 10 pick. He was one of those guys where if you wanted to take the chance, I wouldn't be surprised if a team took the chance, but he fell all the way to 26. Atlanta decides to make a move for him. And like I said, he might have been the best guy in the SEC getting to the quarterback last season. He finished with 7.5 sacks. He's also quick, ran a 4.47 second 40-yard dash at the combine. His 19.6% pressure rate since the start of 2023 was the second highest among all college football players. Number 1 was Mr. Abdul Carter, who went number 3 to New York. But like I said, James Pierce played in the SEC. He's going up against SEC guys, and no disrespect to the Big Ten, but I do think the SEC is a little bit better than even the new Big Ten. And then in the third round and the fourth round, you double down on safeties. And I really like the philosophy here. Round 396, Xavier Watts out of University of Notre Dame, safety. I'm a biased Notre Dame Fighting Irish guy. You're going to love him. He's an absolute ball hawk, like a lot of our Notre Dame defensive players were last season. He's had 13 interceptions in the past 2 seasons. And I'm telling you, man, and I don't need to tell Falcons fans this, you're going out there and getting guys who make plays. Whether it's Jalen Walker, James Pierce, Xavier Watts, or even Billy Bauman, these dudes have a track record and a history of making plays, whether it's getting to the quarterback or getting the quarterback to force bad throws, incompletions, interceptions, you name it. This is what we needed to see with Atlanta. They needed more dogs who can do things when they needed to do things, right? So real quick, round 4, 118, Billy Bauman. And I do apologize, guys. There's this like big media company that is, if you post like 6 seconds of a freaking college highlight, they're like, nope, video's gone. Goodbye. See ya. So sorry, it's picks, or it's probably going to be picks. But 118, Billy Bauman, just like Watts, a ball hawk. He's even quicker as well. He ran a 4.42 40-yard dash at the combine. But Billy has 11 interceptions over 3 college seasons, including 6 in 2023 at the University of Oklahoma. So you have your quarterback, and he's now the full-time starter, and you got a bunch of dogs on the defense. So I'm excited for this new brand of Atlanta Falcon football, man. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for more. Give me a loose win-loss projection for this team down below, and we'll see you in a week or so. Peace.